RV Mentor, RVing for newbies, ethics disclaimer. All the tools being used, the items being installed or reviewed were purchased by RV Mentor. The only exceptions will be denoted in the next slide in this video, giving the name of the manufacturer, the items, and how they were acquired, donated, etc. The things stated in this video are the opinions of RV Mentor and are just that, opinions, but are based on 13 years of being an RV owner and being an RV inspector. Let's get on with the video.
Greetings! Welcome to our latest installment under RV Mentor, RVing for newbies. Today we're going to install a Waltech International digital thermostat. All works out of the cloud for those of you familiar with that term, and it also will work off of your phone. So let's unbox this thing and see what we got. Alright, let's open this bad boy up. Let's see what we got in here. As a standard disclaimer, everything that RV newbies and RV Mentor buys is all paid for at full cost or at the same discount price you could get as the general public. I do that for two reasons. Number one, I want to make sure that I'm paying for the same price you are. And number two, I don't want there to be any question about the integrity or ethics of how I go about doing these things. I did not get this for free. They're not asking me to do a review of it. I'm doing this on my own, so you know it's on the up and up. Let's open up the second box, see what we got. Alright, we'll lay this down. Let's see what we got here. Alright. Inside, a couple of things we'll use for connecting to the wall and wires. Screws, wall thingies, and user manual. Good stuff. Read the user manual. Throw that box out of the way. This is the main component unit. Okay. Very simple, not a whole lot to it. What we're going to do is we're going to be replacing the standard Coleman mock that you'll see here in a minute. But it's basically really not much more than you have the connector for the wires. You got the base plate that goes against the wall. It screws into the wall. The wires come through here. They connect up to here. And off we go. Let's go take a look at the old unit and see what we got to do to get rid of it. What we have here is a Coleman mock. This is in my 2018 Thor Chateau. This is very simple to take a look at and what we're going to do. Now, before you do anything else when you start messing with this, unplug from AC power, disconnect, do your battery disconnect thing, or disconnect the negative side from your battery. You don't want hot wires touching negatives and sparks flying all over the place and making all kinds of a disaster. So we're going to go make sure the electric is off, then we're going to disconnect our battery, and we'll be back. Okay, so what I did in my RV is I disconnected from AC, the generator is not running, and I went ahead and did the battery disconnect switch. And you can see, if I flip that to heat, absolutely nothing is going on. Alright, so let's take off the front cover. Alright, here's what you got. That thing just pops right off. You just pull it straight out forward and it comes off. Alright, so let's take a look at what we got here. You got your thermostat. You got where your on-off buttons are. You got a handful of wires here. Alright. There's a good video of what the wires all mean, if you're unaware of it, on the Waltech YouTube page. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to take and remove these two screws. There's one here. There's one here. We're going to remove those two, pull it away from the wall, and take a look and see what we got behind. And of course, like most things in your RV, number two, square-headed screw. They're everywhere. And then we drop it on the floor. Okay. This is coming loose. Pull this all the way out. And you may have a little bit of a mess to clean up after the fact. Let's get that out of the wall. Alright. Here's what we got on the back side. Lots of wires. So the question then boils down to is, who's who and what's what? Like I said, there's a great diagram for figuring this out on which wires belong to who and which ones will need to go into the little green junction box on the Waltech YouTube page. Alright, so as you look at the back of the wires, the picture I was telling you about, it says green is for your high fan, gray is for the low fan, yellow is for your compressor, that's also your air conditioner. Red is your plus 12 volts DC, blue is your 12 volts ground, and white goes to your furnace. So as we look back there, we've got everything as we expect to see. We have a green wire, we have a gray wire, we have yellow, we have red, we have blue, and we have white. So everybody seems to match up perfectly. So we're going to go ahead and cut these wires, and then we'll pull out the junction box and get ready to wire those back in. Alright, I want you to take a look at this. This guy right here. This is the junction box. There are tiny, tiny little screws in there. They're a regular screw head, so slotted. So you're going to want like a set of jeweler's screwdrivers or something of that sort. Something small that's going to be able to fit in there to be able to tighten the wires down onto. Next up, we've got the wires cut. We got them pulled through. We're now going to be mounting the bracket that the thermostat will mount onto. So we'll be drilling some holes. We can put the plugs in, or we can just screw the things right into the panel. Whatever you're liking. So I made little modifications to be able to get it to mount into my RV because of the way the wall was cut, and it was just completely screwed up, which is not too unusual for RVs. So we took and drilled a hole and put a screw in the top. We'll see if this bad boy fits correctly. Next is cutting the ends of the wires and hooking them up to the green junction box. Here's the green junction box where they talk about the jumper between 1 and 3, and we're going to strip some wires and hook these bad boys in. Remember, little tiny screws in the bottom. Okay, let's double check everything. See, that's what they show you on the internet on that video. It's red, blue, jumper. If you have a second heater, it goes in the next spot. Otherwise, you got white, gray, green, and yellow. So everybody's hooked up like they should be. Okay, wires all hooked up. We got this bad boy put in place here. It's time to turn on the electric and see if it'll do anything. Hey, nothing smoked. That's a good sign. Turned it on. This is what we got. Humidity believes it's 63%. The room temp is 63. And the current set temp is to 70. Alright, so now it's one of these things you can play with it here. Or there's an app for the phone you can do it too. Everything gets put, it can be put on in the internet, so it's in the cloud. So you can control it all remotely if you want, or you can control it from the front panel here. But I do want you to see that it is to the point where it is working. So let's hold this menu for 3 to 5 seconds, the home button. Then you can cycle through and set your fan speeds, just like you would have done with the old Coleman Mach all manual switches. So we're going to go to heating, and let's turn heating on and make sure this bad boy is going to kick on. Notice the 2 icons for heat. I only have one heater in this RV. Both of them will show up. Doesn't really matter. You can choose both. You can choose one. I have nothing connected to the second one, so it doesn't really matter. But now my furnace is kicked on. The propane kicked on and lighted, and we got warm air coming out. So let's turn this off. Go back to where we were. You can always change the temperature to decide what you want to do with it. So we hold this for 3 seconds. We'll manually go in and turn the furnace back off. Cooling or heating off. You could turn the air conditioner on. This is where you set up your Wi-Fi. Furnace 1, heat pump, or a furnace. You can tell it if you happen to have that. I have neither, so it doesn't really matter here. You can set upper limits, lower limits, so if you want it to automatically either cool or heat, if you want it to do that, you can have it do that. A lot of this can all be accessed from the phone also once you get the app set up to do that, and you've got this connected to Wi-Fi. It will have to be reset if you change Wi-Fi. So I may hook mine up to my cell phone, so when we're here I can use cell signal to do it, but you can always do everything from the screen if you want to. That's the manual option way of doing things. Alright, let's hold this for a second. Let's go and kick the fan on. Don't really need AC here in Ohio in first week of October, but I just want to make sure that, so you can see cooling on and off. You can do heating on and off, and back at the beginning, lots of options here. Hold this. You can selectively turn the fan on. Currently, I set mine to high, so I don't have to deal with air conditioning shenanigans. And that's another topic. Fan mode is auto. You can turn it to on. the fan is kicked on my air conditioning unit. So I can turn that back off, set it back to auto if I want. It's only auto and off are the only two options. Cooling, for turn your air conditioning on. Heating, we've proved pretty much at this point this bad boy works. Pretty impressive. Everything here right on one central console. Let's peel the stupid paper off of here so it looks better. There we go. Better and pretty. It's got its own battery. It's charging right now. It says it recognizes Wi-Fi. We just haven't hooked it up yet. I think that'll do it for now. Very impressive, Waltech. Love it.